Hello, my dear friends, my name is Alexander, and today we will continue with the unusual or unique greenhouses that we have built or encountered. Today, we will discuss the vegetarium greenhouse. Typically, a vegetarium is a single-slope greenhouse installed in such a way that the slope faces south. Now, let me tell you more about it. The vegetarium greenhouse is a quite interesting construction invented in the mid-1950s-1960s by Ivanov. Its main purpose was to operate in cold periods without extra heating. This design allows for maximum heat accumulation during winter. The vegetarium greenhouse is based on a single slope structure, but overall, it is a complex system that aims to make the greenhouse highly energy efficient. Here are the functionalities of the vegetarium greenhouse. 1. Single slope structure. The greenhouse has a single slope design, oriented towards the south to maximize sunlight exposure. 2. Insulated north side. The north side of the greenhouse is blank and insulated from the cold. Often, additional utility rooms are installed on this side. In some cases, the north side can even be a barn or a pigsty. This setup allows for the circulation of CO2 from the livestock area to the greenhouse and back, creating a kind of biocomplex system. The vegetarium greenhouse concept is a comprehensive approach to creating an energy-efficient greenhouse that utilizes natural and biological processes effectively. In general, we base our design on the fact that the northern side is shaded. Another principle of the vegetarium greenhouse is the slope of the ground. What's the nuance? In winter, the sun rises only 15 degrees above the horizon, making it the shortest day of the year. Sun rays simply slide, bouncing back off the surface. By elevating the surface, sun rays penetrate more, minimizing reflection and maximizing absorption into the soil. Therefore, the ground is typically elevated at an angle of 7-15 degrees to absorb sunlight with maximum efficiency. Why 15 degrees? When the angle is, for example, 30 degrees, it is getting challenging to maintain the surface, and water quickly flows down, forming a stream and immediately running down. Hence, 7-15 degrees is the optimal angle used for ground slope. The next aspect used is the accumulation through these pipes where a fan is installed. There are different types of installations. For example, a fan is installed here, and a fan is installed here. The idea is that the air is drawn from the surface and driven into the ground. This allows us to accumulate heat from the air. For example, here it might be plus 45 degrees Celsius, and here it could be 35 degrees, while here it might be 25 degrees. Being drawn and pumped through the pipes, especially when the hot air flows, the air cools down. Additionally, we achieve the effect of removing excess humidity in the greenhouse. By drawing this humid air, we pump it through here. It naturally cools down, and when the air cools, condensation occurs immediately on the pipes. These pipes should be drainage pipes. It cools down here and comes out cooler. This way, we have a constant circulation during the hot period of the day, and naturally, the excess heat we have here is accumulated in the ground. That's the basic principle of the vegetarium greenhouse construction. We constructed various types of greenhouses, therefore we gained different experience, and now we will discuss some nuances we faced. For instance, it's not always convenient to create sloping beds. Sometimes it's easier to make beds stepwise. Here is the first bed, here is the second bed, and here, for example, is the third bed. To calculate the angle, take 15 degrees, and that's how we construct it. Each bed is level and it goes higher than the previous one. In these very beds, we can fill the soil at an angle, here. What do we get? Firstly, working in such greenhouse is much more convenient and ergonomic for people. The pathways are lowered to a height of 60-70 centimeters, making it easier to work with the raised beds. People often ask what height the beds should be raised at to be comfortable to work with them. It's around 50-60 centimeters, making it convenient to work without raising hands too high. But there's a catch. This height is suitable for lettuce, for example, which usually stays within that range, growing 10-15 centimeters above the bed. A meter-high bed is comfortable for plants that don't grow much taller than 15-20 centimeters. For taller plants, like tomatoes, a meter-high bed is not good because tomatoes may grow tall and it becomes inconvenient to work with them. So, a height of 50-60 centimeters is more preferable for plants that will constantly grow. Another aspect is the tiered arrangement of trays. The trays are placed in tiers. This one is for lettuce and greens, this one for medium-height plants, and this one for tall plants. They are arranged in a way that they don't overshadow each other. They grow in tiers. Now, why does a vegetarium have to be single-sloped? It can also be made arched, following the same principles. Thus, we get an arched vegetarium that works just as effectively as the classic single-sloped one. Vegetariums have one small drawback. In summer they tend to overheat quite easily, since they are designed to maximize heat retention. In summer, there is nowhere for the excess heat to go. To address this issue, we made the north side of the vegetarium collapsible. The frame of the north side is covered with the thick polycarbonate sheets, either 10 mm or 16 mm thick. Ventilation windows are installed, which can be closed when needed. Insulation material is inserted, and then this part is covered either with reflective material or silver polycarbonate to reflect light inside the greenhouse. Due to this construction, we can hide pipes inside the wall. In winter, ventilation windows of the greenhouse are closed, everything is covered, and insulation is in place. In summer, we remove the insulation and open the windows, allowing natural ventilation. Collapsible north side is practical and efficient because we can adjust either winter or summer mode. This flexibility is akin to using different tires on our cars, like winter, summer, or all-season tires. Like all-season tires are not as effective in winter as winter tires, we can switch between different modes, making the greenhouse more efficient overall. Another important aspect, as I mentioned, is the greenhouse's tendency to overheat significantly. Thus, we cannot do without ventilation windows. Though greenhouses are constructed to accumulate heat efficiently, sometimes, especially when the greenhouse hasn't been ventilated, the temperature can skyrocket. For instance, in May, if we enter a closed greenhouse, it could reach plus 55 degrees Celsius, with sensors near the metal elements showing temperatures of up to 80 degrees. But when we open ventilation windows, the temperature quickly drops to around 35 degrees, literally within a few minutes. This rapid cooling process demonstrates how essential ventilation is. A closed greenhouse should function like a thermos. If it doesn't function like a thermos, it can't be considered a vegetarium, because in winter, it will cool down rapidly. This is a crucial detail we addressed by installing both upper and side ventilation windows to ensure proper airflow, allowing air to get in and out the greenhouse effectively. These ventilation windows can be arranged to operate when the temperature inside the greenhouse exceeds 35 degrees Celsius. For example, we've developed a specific technology, and I'll share the secret of the smart greenhouse with you. First, there's a dead zone while heat accumulation. When there is no ventilation, it is typically between 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. The ventilation and fans don't work within this temperature range. Once the temperature rises above 25 degrees Celsius, fans start working, drawing the heated air into the ground where it's cooled. When the temperature difference between the air and the ground is of around 10 degrees Celsius, heat transfer from the air into the ground gets more efficient. The temperature inside the greenhouse gradually rises to 18, 25, 30, and 35 degrees Celsius. At this point, to release excessive hot air, the upper ventilation windows open first, followed by the side windows. Where's the best location for these windows? On the sides, at the top, or at the bottom? It's better to install them at the top because the incoming air won't flow along the bottom, avoiding direct contact with the plants and preventing drafts. The incoming air displaces the hot air, maintaining proper circulation. Meanwhile, heat continues to accumulate. When the air temperature reaches 30-35 degrees Celsius, it is drawn into the ground and heat is accumulated there. As soon as the temperature drops below 30 degrees Celsius, the windows close, but the accumulation process continues. When the temperature falls below 25 degrees Celsius, the accumulators are deactivated. This sophisticated system ensures efficient temperature control within the greenhouse. Furthermore, once the temperature drops below 18 degrees Celsius, the accumulators in the greenhouse are being activated, but they serve a different purpose now. Since the ground temperature is around 25 degrees Celsius, While the air temperature is 18 degrees Celsius, the incoming air passes through the pipes and exits at around 22-23 degrees Celsius warmer than the outside air. So, as the temperature drops, the warm ground releases some of its heat, evening the temperature inside the greenhouse. Here's the crucial point. During the day, when the outside temperature rises due to the sunlight, the greenhouse temperature can reach 35-40 degrees Celsius. By accumulating heat during the day, we balance out the temperature fluctuations. For example, if it's plus 2 degrees Celsius at night and plus 10 degrees Celsius during the day, the ground retains warmth, helping to balance the temperature. Instead of experiencing a drastic change from plus 7 degrees Celsius at night to plus 35-40 degrees Celsius during the day, the temperature inside the greenhouse is smoothed out to around plus 30 degrees Celsius during the day and plus 15 degrees Celsius at night. This temperature fluctuations diminution by 3-5 degrees Celsius is more comfortable for the plants. The effectiveness of this approach depends on the greenhouse's overall design, starting from the dome structure, ensuring maximum airtightness to avoid cold bridges and other factors. Properly implemented heat accumulation is crucial. There are nuances to consider. If we install very powerful fans and increase the airflow speed through the pipes, air turbulence can occur. When the airflow speed exceeds 15 meters per second, turbulence appears in the pipes. This turbulence prevents effective heat transfer, creating an unwanted effect. Proper design and calibration of the ventilation system are essential to avoid these issues. The second one is in the contrary very weak fans. In this case, the volume of the air that needs to be circulated through the pipes will be too small, and we cannot effectively operate the system with such a low airflow volume. There are interesting vegetariums we have built, particularly industrial ones, with a slope of about 25-30 degrees and a length of 30 meters. In an ideal scenario, with such long sections, the ground slope should match the roof slope to ensure parallel alignment. However, a challenge arises when dealing with the significant lengths because the roof slope needs to be adjusted to prevent snow accumulation in winter. Therefore, steep arch designs are not suitable for such long spans. The ground slope must approximate the roof slope. On the other hand, if the northern side of the greenhouse rises too high, given the length, we decided that the wall should not exceed 4.5 meters, so we adjusted the roof slope based on the ground slope. This adjustment is essential to ensure efficient snow removal and prevent excessive snow accumulation on the greenhouse roof. It's crucial to strike the right balance between the ground slope, the wall height, and the roof slope to maintain structural integrity and functional efficiency. Proper design considerations can address these challenges effectively. So, if the roof slope is 21 degrees, we create terraces to achieve this angle. Plants are grown on these terraces. In this design, we added black sleeves filled with water, which are sealed. These sleeves serve as additional heat accumulators. The water absorbs heat during the day and releases it during the night, contributing to temperature regulation. When dealing with a long vegetarium on the southern side, it's better to incorporate terraces inside. Each terrace does not shade the one above it because they are arranged in steps, allowing light to reach all levels effectively. The advantages of this design are evident. The greenhouse is well insulated, efficiently retains heat, and benefits from the light reflection from the side walls. Moreover, there are insulated vegetariums, when the east and west walls are additionally insulated. Such greenhouses are good for cold regions. On the other hand, they get less light, thus require additional lighting. This wraps up our discussion about vegetarium greenhouses. They are unique and efficient structures for growing plants in various climates. Some designs even incorporate additional insulation on the east and west walls, making them suitable for cold regions. However, they might require extra lighting as they tend to receive less natural light and can overheat. If you have any comments or questions about these unconventional greenhouse designs or other aspects of gardening, feel free to share. If you're interested in specific structural details, you can visit our website to explore one-slope greenhouse options that can be adapted to vegetarium designs.